The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
What is going on, everybody? Good evening. It is finally Friday, my favorite day of the week. I'm your host, the Appalachian American, coming to you with another live stream. Joining me, as always, is my left-hand man, the author, David Applegate.
G'day, friends and fans. Welcome to another men's room. Yeah. Hello.
Last but not least for the evening, channel dad Brian Leap.
I got nothing. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Oh, hey, Ernie over in the Instagram chat. What's up, man? I see you over there.
Hey, Ann.
I'm yeah, we're just chilling. It's raining in my town and Channel Dad's town, so because we're not that far apart.
Couple
like 2 hours and some change. You know. I'm sure David's enjoying some nice weather.
Actually, no, it's bloody grey.
Is it?
Is it snowing?
No.
Do you get snow there?
No.
He's in short sleeve. You think it's snowing?
Oh, that's right. It's still fall or whatever, right?
We don't. I'm in the subtropics, so the chances of snow, the chances are less than the chances of Biden confessing to all his sins.
Nice.
He doesn't remember them all.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do that.
So you're a northern Australia then?
Well, most of Australia doesn't get snow because we don't have the proper weather conditions that generate snow. But there are parts in the mountains in the south that get snow, and Tasmania gets snow because it gets blasted by Antarctica.
Well,
so they could have a 40-degree. They could have 40 degrees in summer, and then suddenly, and near the end of summer, they'll have a sudden snowstorm because it just rolls in off Antarctica, the site, and covers the entire state. So you think you have it bad?
Oh, I know I don't. Well, not till the rattlesnakes come out.
Yeah.
Oof. That stinks.
Yeah. Just gotta be mindful. The dogs are the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I would bet so. So, just maybe us StreamYard users will probably be affected by this. If you're watching us on Facebook, that could possibly change.
Yep.
David, you know more on that. You actually use Facebook a lot more than we all do. I'm live on YouTube, Instagram, and Rumble. And David, you use Facebook a lot, so that's going to affect you.
I'm stopping using Facebook. Well, for now, what appears to have happened, yesterday I got a notification that said Facebook is changing. Okay. And the first thing it said was they're changing how Facebook deals with apps in groups.
Yeah.
And basically, if you're streaming to your group or page, you cannot use a third-party app to do so.
Oh.
That's basically what they're doing, I believe, is forcing you to use Instagram. Or post a reel.
Well, I mean, I'm using Instagram right now, so I mean, what's the difference?
Instagram is not affected by the changes to Facebook policy.
Oh, okay. I figured since they're Meta, Instagram would be
No,
different.
it's not. No, it's not an announcement from Meta. It's an announcement from Facebook.
So what's going on?
See, like Facebook used to be the parent company. Now it's a subsidiary alongside Instagram.
Yeah.
Now what's going on is Facebook every 3 months is changing something. But lately they've been changing often. Right now, I can't scroll back my notifications, right? I got hundreds of notifications. I went to look at them. I can't go past the first page. Like it goes down to the bottom, won't scroll. It's ridiculous. Facebook. See, okay. A long time ago, Facebook, when it was about a year or two old, got called dull and stale. So since then, Zuck the Cuck has been changing the UI, notifications, changing the you can have now different types of groups, different types of pages. He's just keeping changing stuff. You used to be able to link your page to a group, and then he's changed that. You have to form a page and then have your page form a group to link it. And it just kept changing, right? To the point nobody knows the algorithms anymore. That's the point. You can't track it. So you can have hundreds of users and have no idea how many people see you, if at all, or what posts they see, because you don't know your engagement unless somebody clicks like. And what's the chances of that?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I know one of the problems that I have from time to time. I get it on my phone as well as in a browser, or if I'm scrolling a little bit too fast, it's like, oh, okay, whatever. And then it just like it hits a point and it just goes. It'll just continuously scroll. And I'm wondering if they're trying to fix that bug and they pushed it the other way.
Yeah.
It's not like it'll give me the next two. It'll just go whoosh, 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 and you can't stop it.
Yeah, you can't stop it till it's the end, and it goes forever. Yeah.
And then quite often I'll go, oh, what was that? And I'll try and scroll back, and it's gone.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate when notifications disappear. Like you get notification from somebody, and they haven't blocked you, right? You get a notification, and you click it, and it just gives you a bunch of random stuff. It's not the comment that it says, oh, somebody commented on your post, and you click it, and it goes to the post, but instead of going to the one that you got notified on, it goes to just some random one 400 pages down,
Yeah.
And it does, and I've been told, I've asked people this, and they say, no, Facebook is doing things on purpose. There's nothing that Facebook tests everything, and it's all on purpose.
Hey, Tommy, what's up, man? I see you.
Hey,
Tommy, Guinea Pig Collective.
I think they're right. They're trying to force you to constantly worry on your phone that when you get that bing, oh, if I don't reply now, it will disappear. They're trying to create a panic.
That's a very big possibility because they do that a lot. I mean, they want you to feed on the feeling of, oh, I need to be connected. Which, I mean, dude, like, I do. I hate it.
Yeah, but they have look. A lot of video games get this too. Recently, even Otaku and IGN admitted that it's true. Development companies do not respect the player's time. They deliberately time the game so it either eats your entire night or it leaves you unsatisfied.
Yeah.
Like
that's I mean, I guess we're going to dive into Gamergate 2.0 here in just a little bit, but I mean, yeah, dude, games are not what they used to
anymore. No, they're not well designed anymore. They're not played by the developers. In fact, some companies ban their developers from playing their own games.
That's so stupid.
They don't want you to engage with the customer unless it's through an authorized representative. Your Twitter, if you join, say, Blizzard, your Twitter is controlled by Microsoft, whether it's your company Twitter or your personal Twitter. You sign your rights away with Meta. It's even worse. Meta controls all your social media if you're a Meta employee. You'll
Dang.
notice a lot of Meta employees aren't on Twitter. Not that you'd notice or care, but that's how petty they are. They're just becoming so petty.
Yeah.
And Brian Leif is saying that's nothing new. And that's right. The computer industry is full of petty people, petty tyrants.
Yeah. I'm blowing my nose just so.
Yeah.
I just don't get like why. I mean, I do get to an extent on why people want
They're trying to
that.
that power because they justify it by saying they're trying to protect their profits.
Right.
But that's not true. It is the power trip.
That and the I mean that algorithm change. That's what people want.
Yeah. People wanted algorithm change, particularly authors, because our engagement is too low. And like if I take an ad, right? $30, and depending on the day, it's anywhere from 1,100 to 1,500, but never above 1,500 and never exactly 1,500. It's always some weird number, right?
Yeah.
So depending on the day, I can pay $30 to get an ad, and it'll show to so many people per day up to 7 days. When it reaches a certain number, it'll stop, right? By law, they'll tell you how many people they expect to click. Want to know how many people they expect to click out of 1,495? 7.
Oh wow.
So I got to pay $30 for 7 people to click my ads and make less than $1 per sale. How is that justified?
I don't know. Games are mostly created incomplete as well. This way you never can. Yes, dude. Yes. There's always something they can change. There's always something that they can break, and it's
Back in
just
the
not. No,
back in
it's.
the yeah,
I
back in
hate
the
it. Like
90s. Yeah.
what was the game we had that it was constantly updating? Oh, Tom Clancy's.
Oh, Rainbow Six.
No, it's the one
The
we
new
had.
one.
We played 1 and 2.
Uh,
Oh
it was one
shoot,
of the yeah,
The
it was one
Division.
of Division. Yes.
That
Shoot.
Division was constantly updating, man. You never could just put the game in and go because they were constantly putting something else in it, and it was like, oh, dude, come on.
Yeah. I
That's like
remember
Grand Theft
when
Auto.
yeah,
Grand Theft Auto 5, you're constantly getting updates for that, and they say, oh, it's something new, it's something bold, you're gonna love it, and it's like, no, we don't love it. We just want you to hurry up and make Grand Theft Auto 6.
again, that's because the short attention span. Look, once upon a time, you'd buy a little old game that sat on a 1.2 meg disc. You'd put it in your computer and you'd play it endlessly for hours.
Yeah,
And you'd play it for months, sometimes years before you'd buy another game. Now, games, the game loop, even though it's simple, game loops like Grand Theft Auto, you look at your Grand Theft Auto mission. What's the average Grand Theft Auto mission? You actually have to drive to the mission. Like, what the fuck? When you play the video game, you were there at the start of the mission, you played the mission, and then and that was it. You know, everything is like an RPG. It is not like a video. Every video game is becoming like an RPG, except for maybe Metroid.
yeah,
A lot. Even so, you even look at some of the Call of Duty changes. You're going back to a hub, right? You got to go through simulated transports. You got cutscenes between everything. Those are often to hide loading screens, but it's also you look at the changes. It's no longer just a shooter. Oh, you got mission packs. You got to do your weapons. You got to change your weapons. You can't use the same weapon for every mission. Like, what the fuck, dude? You're in the army. You have a gun. You're given a gun. You don't walk up to the armory and say, oh, I feel like a submachine gun today. They say, nope, you're stuck with the M1 Grand we gave you.
Yeah.
You know, it's becoming an RPG, you know.
Man.
And I get it. Back in the 90s, RPGs were super popular, and they're trying to make everything like that, you know, that hub feeling, that where you go back to the hub, tinker with your character, because they're trying to do anything they can to prolong the game to reduce the sales of the competition. Once they sold you the game, they know that they're not going to sell you anything. So what do? They create an online perpetual service. We warned about. Sorry,
It's all good, man.
we warned about this back in the 90s, where we warned you about live service. We warned you about always online. We warned you about microtransactions. One, microtransactions will never go down. They'll always go up. Two, once they got you on live service, they'll either constantly update the game to keep you engaged, to the point where you become a mental menial slave to the game. Constantly updating your character. Constantly. This is what happened with WoW. This is what happened with RuneScape. This is what happened with all the big RPGs. They just could not let their players go play another game.
Right.
Constantly raising the level cap, constantly raising the challenges, constantly adding things. They just cannot stand the fact. Because why? Because they found they couldn't attract new players. And they didn't want to go out and develop another game. And in some cases, like Rockstar, they admitted, shit, we were stuck. If not Rockstar, Diablo. After StarCraft, they were stuck. If the people didn't come along with Diablo, they were going to shut down. They were losing, because they were just going to shut down and say, right, we're now just WoW, right? We're not going to create any more new games like Valve. You know, Valve has decided they're not going to create any new games either.
Hey, there's the doctor.
Hey, Dr. Coffinails. I just got to call this person back. Sorry.
Go for it.
One last thing. Back in the 90s, when Java came out, they tried to create the first Chromebook back then, but it was called Java Book. It was by Google. And what you do, she didn't have a hard drive. You had a constant internet connection. And when that was rejected, they created cloud computing to try and migrate people to the fact that they have now access to everything you own and control over everything you own. Basically saying you own nothing and you'll love it. Back in a minute.
Right. Some of these companies have seen huge losses. Yes, they have. That's the positive side of voting with your wallet. Like, these people don't understand that you know, there's definitely power in the dollar. And it blows my mind that these people don't see that they're making crap. And yes, there's an initial wave of buyers, but how many people's going to buy this thing, turn around and trade it back in or get rid of, or, you know, return it? We can think The Last of Us 2 for GameStop changing their return policy. You doing good, Dr. Coffinails?
Yeah, doing a lot better. Glad to be back.
Yeah, what you been up to?
Working a lot of overtime, so
Oh, nice.
helping out at work. They're trying to start a new program over there, and I'm trying to help it out a little bit. But other than that, glad to be back.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
So you're talking about the video game issues?
Yeah,
that have
there's been
going on
some.
lately?
Yep, there's Gamergate 2.0 seems to be kicking off. Sweet Baby Inc. is trying to push its way into tell us how to game.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I think it's kind of funny, but kind of not.
Well, I think it's funny that that Gamergate 2, the gamers seem to be winning a little more this time, at least, because they're a lot more pissed off than they were before. Because Gamergate 1, as you recall, they basically changed the way Wikipedia was edited so that the truth could never come out, except the people, unless you really dig. And I don't want to go into that now because I don't want to mess up your channel, but yeah, I mean, everyone seems to know that, it's like the Barbara Streisand effect. They try to squash this guy that posts the page of all their stuff, and now just more people know about it, and more people want to avoid anything they touch, which is pretty hilarious. So I think that's pretty funny myself.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely interesting that sorry, I'm getting caught up trying to figure out what's going on over on Twitter, there or X, whatever. There's all kinds of stuff over there, and every new refresh, there's something stupid.
What's going on at Twitter? What's going on Zitter?
Just the world's burning down. The stupidity of people.
Some people just like to watch the world burn.
Some people just want to watch a tangerine.
That's true.
Why would anyone want to watch a tangerine?
Because it's a tangerine.
Or is that
I love that video. Have you ever seen it?
No. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, dude. Shut up. Are you serious?
Which video are you talking about?
The tangerine video.
Is it related to the Joker somehow? I'm not sure.
Wait, you've never seen it either?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, dude, that your impression of
Michael Caine?
Yeah, Michael. Thank you.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. You sound actually really.
What are you doing with Michael Caine?
This is hysterical.
People ask me about Jaws of Revenge. They said it's really bad. I've never seen it. I've heard it's awful. But the money that I got paid for a very nice house, and it's wonderful.
I'm sure we're gonna get cut on this, but who cares?
A long time ago, I was in Burma. My friends and I were working for the local government. They were trying to buy the loyalty of tribal leaders by bribing them with a tangerine. We raided in a forest north of Rangoon by a bandit. So we went looking for the tangerine. But in 6 months, we never met anyone.
The hell?
One day, I saw a child playing with a tangerine.
Is that actually him saying it like in a different movie, or is that someone impersonating him?
I have no idea.
It's bleeding AI, it is.
Right here. Hang on.
Some men just want a tangerine.
Some men just want a tangerine.
Why is that so funny?
A long time ago, I was in Burma. My friends and I were working.
I have never seen that before.
So we went looking for the local government.
Which Batman was this? Batman Begins? Batman.
A Dark Knight.
That's a Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Okay. I think I saw. So that was the Joker.
It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, he's talking about some guy he's like trying to explain the Joker, but they've inserted the word tangerine in there.
Tangerine. A tangerine.
So that was Heath Ledger's Joker, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know why, but that little clip is so funny.
I've never seen that before.
Oh my gosh, dude. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out now. I'm gonna spread that around. That's hilarious.
3 accounts over there now as the easily offended automations keep getting me. Twatter's a mess. 3 accounts over. Oh, okay. Nice. Yep, they will definitely do that. I enjoy Twitter because it's such a just poop show.
You know what? I
Now-
hardly ever get on Twitter, and I guess I should more. But
Twitter is going through a bizarre experience where the people who hate Twitter the most are posting the most, and the people who like Twitter the most are posting the least.
Yeah. Ernie over on Instagram, he said you should play Space Invaders and Pac-Man. They never have any updates.
Speaking of Space Invaders, I think I've said this before too. The one of those, it's an Atari Classics or whatever. It's got, it's like a smaller version. It's got, I don't know, 100 games or whatever it is. I need to get that thing back out. I hooked it
You're
up.
talking about the mini Atari with all the games.
Yeah, but it's got
preloaded?
the joystick, and we got this several years ago. They had
I've seen one.
We at Sam's once. They had the ColecoVision, Atari, and no, it wasn't was it Coleco? Yeah, and maybe it wasn't Nintendo. It was one of those other earlier ones. But I got the Atari one, and every game on there except Space Invaders is the original Atari version. It's more like the arcade version. It's not the Atari 2600 version. So, and now they got there's a newer one. I think they came out with it. It's a retro Atari that actually can take cartridges.
That's kind of cool.
I still have my old Atari.
Does it work?
I think so. I haven't had it plugged in for a few years, but I think it works.
What's up, Anime Night?
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I forgot we're back to regular time now, and daylight savings over there. So, this is what happens when you live in a state that doesn't do daylight savings. So,
dude, trust me, I hate it. We all hate it.
What state are you in that doesn't do daylight savings? Are you in Arizona?
The only state that doesn't have daylight savings.
I think it does in Hawaii. Does not do it too. I thought there were two.
Oh,
states.
I don't know.
Oh, it's Hawaii and Arizona are now the only two. I used to.
Oh, speaking of Arizona, you're prosecuting a man for shooting an illegal. What? How dare you, sir?
Yeah.
He's not doing it.
Don't pay attention to the bag of money over here. Don't pay attention to that. That was I won that in a lotto.
Cartel Lotto, yeah. Cartel Lotto, yeah. I won that in the Cartel Lotto, yeah. But hey, Carrie Lake may get her revenge yet as a senator, so we'll see, because Kirsten's out.
Yay. She really wasn't a bad senator. I haven't heard anything bad about her.
She was disendorsed by her own party, so they only went with Kirsten because she was gay, and then she came out against Joe and border policies. So
Whoa.
The only Democrat I know that actually said, we ain't doing this.
Oh, that's gross. No, I didn't see that, and I would probably look away. That's gross.
I thought that was just going on in Haiti.
Yeah, Haiti.
There's cannibalism's breaking out everywhere, apparently.
Yeah, and I bet you they're soon going to have a march in New York, cannibal rights.
That'll be the next big thing.
It's their culture.
David,
stop oppressing them.
David, we have to normalize cannibalism. I mean, we got to stop oppressing these people.
Well, you're warned. You're warned how low they will go.
Let me eat your leg. You're oppressing me.
The thing is, and this has been admitted, there isn't a food shortage in Haiti. There is a crime problem in Haiti that led to a food shortage, and it's the gangs who are, and the gangs, they're not Haitian, they're African. Okay, A lot of African migrants to get into the US go to Haiti because it's so easy for them to get on a flight to Haiti. Because from Haiti, they can get on flights to the US. And these gangs have been building up for years because Jamaica and all the other republics have basically, they got a visa process that filters out criminals, right? Criminal convictions. Whereas Haiti does not filter out people with criminal convictions.
How convenient.
Now, a lot of people don't understand how US aid bankrupted Haiti, Pakistan, and about half a dozen other countries. It all started with India back in the 50s with what you would call miracle rice. Don't know if you know this or not, but Arkansas grows this thing called miracle rice. And they produce a huge bumper crop every year. It's actually a massive export. And that export is paid for and subsidized by US aid. So the farmers get paid a fortune by the US government to produce this rice. US aid buy this rice and send it to Haiti at bargain discount prices. Pakistan, India, etc. Now, India stopped taking the rice, I think, back in the 80s but they've still got problems. But what happens is you get a bag of rice per child. These countries like Gaza will naturally overpopulate to get more and more aid because they only need one bag of rice and they sell the other 5, right? Because they're getting a bag of rice a week. We're not talking, when you go to the store and get a bag of rice, it's this big. US aid, right, is massive. It's actually a 40-kilo bag. It's huge. You're getting 6 of those a week. What happens, though, is all the local farmers go bankrupt. Well, what happens when basically Arkansas can't produce any more of this miracle rice? When the government says, hey, we can't afford to keep subsidizing this, when all the farm subsidies run out, they haven't been renewed, right? A lot of these farmers are going broke. It's a mess right now. And so what happened? All these bags of rice stopped flowing to Gaza, to Pakistan, to India, and so off. And what happens? Boom, there's nobody to take the place, especially when you're talking and running around, taking all the fertilizer off farmers, taking all the, installing all these Green New Deal initiatives. But we're not calling it the Green New Deal because people found out where the Green New Deal originated. And we're not going to slam the channel by mentioning her 1930s, who was the original architect of the Green New Deal. But that's how it goes. So when the farmers started having a problem, what happens? They create Gamergate 2.0. They actually tried to squash Sweet Baby Inc. But it turned out Sweet Baby Inc. is funded by a company that's funded by a foundation, which is founded by BlackRock. And apparently in California, when they tried to sever ties with Sweet Baby Inc. said, nah, we got you by the short and curlies, California's diversity and equity law. Yeah, Euler Greg. Yeah. You've been funding global overpopulation in every country while basically genociding your own population. Do you know what the population growth rate of the United States is?
Not what it once was.
Yeah, 1.2%.
Yeah.
They said the other day, back in the 2000s, as soon after Obama came to office, he was handed a notice that the US population was in decline. So what did he do? Nothing. Trump, nothing. And then Biden says, oh, we'll just flood the population with Latinos. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a serious problem in the future from what I've heard or what I've read, because we have an infrastructure which can only be supported by a certain amount of people. And if we can't sustain that and the population starts and we get a population drop off, who the hell's going to sustain this infrastructure we have? We're going to be screwed.
Well, you're screwed because all the feminists refuse to have children. So no matter what you do, you're dead.
Right.
Okay. The feminists have decided to genocide white people, and there's nothing we can do about it. What are you going to do? Like, you're going to do what China does, round women up and force them to have children? No, you're not, right? You're just going to let it happen. Feminism has decided, and basically Italy's going to be black by 2050. Europe's gone.
Yeah. Well,
they tell you, don't worry about overpopulation. Yet you're feeding the rest of the world.
The opposite of Soylent Green is actually going to happen. I mean, that movie was based on the predictions of Malthus and a bunch of other people that said population was going to go through the roof. The opposite is actually is in danger of happening now.
Since the mid-90s, a doctor from India who works for the UN Population Sustainability Center has been saying we are going to see a 17.6% drop in population, and they started laughing. But they're not laughing now. China's had over a 20% drop in population.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of numbers, how much is Mar-a-Lago worth?
Depending who you ask.
The residents? Yeah.
Because apparently
That's
it's worth two different numbers. 18 million according to one judge and 240 million according to another judge. So
yep. That's a pretty big disparity there.
Yeah. I think it's funny CNN just doesn't know where to go to attack Donald Trump.
No, it's the policy of constant criticism. This goes back to the 1930s. I actually think it started in Italy, where they just basically create. Actually, further back, it goes to the French Revolution with the Jacobins. Constantly criticizing the monarchy. The monarchy can do no right. They always do wrong. They're always evil. They always choose evil. Or in fact, they just, no matter what they did, they could not get the French peasants to return to the fields to work. That's why you had a food crisis in France.
Right.
They actually increased wages. They actually did everything right. The peasants, however, were told by the revolutionaries, anybody going back to work, you'll have your throat cut. Now, the monarchy did the right thing, round up the revolutionaries and kill them because they are causing hardship. They are deliberately destroying the country. But the monarchy underestimated how well funded the revolutionaries were and how the politics of demonization works. And by the time the royalty tried to do anything to save the country, it was too late. The demonization basically had people ignoring the monarchy, expecting the revolution to bring about a glorious new world order where basically all the wealth would belong to the people. What happens when you divide $1 trillion 300 million ways? It's not going to last. All these people will run out and buy jet skis and everything else. They'd massively overconsume, and then they'll just not want to go back to work and say, just keep printing more money, please.
I feel called out.
No,
because you damn right I would buy that jet ski. You damn right I would buy it. So I'm terrible.
But what happens when you get like Haiti or Venezuela, where the government did hand out all this food, all these toasters, all these televisions? I forget what else, right? They handed out all this stuff, right, to people.
What about the 7-Eleven 32-ounce mug things? Those giant ass mug things. Hey, let's hand those out too.
No, but I forget what they handed out. It's like 5 different stuff, right? Venezuela did it, Cuba did it, Brazil was going to do it. Look what happened in Haiti. They handed out all that food, all those consumer goods. What happened 5 years later? There was not one store open in Port-au-Prince. There was half the farmers have closed down. This was the Clinton Foundation. They flooded Haiti with all this stuff saying it's goodwill. Clothing. Sorry, not one clothing store, not one. Half their farms are gone. Most of the so-called aid actually went to building factories to make jeans for China, right?
Yeah, Euler Greg, my stimulus check went to when I bought a new house. I had to buy some new appliances, so that's where my stimulus check went.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good use. That's a good use for the stimulus check, though.
Yep.
Euler, you're not wrong. That's actually a good use to fix
it was a good
something.
use. Yeah. But the problem is they take us $1 billion and give you back $1 million. But I mean, what did they say the other day? Back in 1991, Bill Clinton was worried about the US debt of $1 trillion. And he helped basically.
Are we sure it's not Ronald Reagan? Because Ronald Reagan was also worried about it. He was raising alarms. So we're spending more than our national debt.
But when it's the Republicans in office, the Democrats didn't care. When Clinton got to be president, though, he actually got a national security briefing, and he was worried about the debt. So, sorry, I better take this.
Okay.
But David's not wrong, though. I mean, look at Venezuela. I mean, they went through the biggest crash of the century, and I'm amazed they're still existing as a country. I'm amazed right now. After all that dirty shit and everything.
Hey, you kind of missed our conversation about Gamergate anime. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Personally, I've been keeping up on it. Personally, I'm actually happy to see it get a lot more attention because we learned our lesson from the first one, and now we're more ready to go to war with these people because they take the criticism as harassment. No, it's not. It's not harassment, you clowns. We're criticizing you because we want our games to be fun, informative, sometimes informative, nice learning new things, and all around have a great time. That's all we want to do. I want to play games with Appalachian American and David from time to time. I want to sit down after a brutal day in reality to sit down, relax, and game. Not be reminded of what's going on in our world. Not to be reminded, oh look, and also this hate against sexy female characters. This is ridiculous.
Males.
Oh, and white males too. Yeah, the anti-whiteism is real, people. It's real.
Look, I'm an author. Okay, 80%. I get stats. I do research and I get stats trying to market. 80% of books are bought by women. The majority of women won't buy a book off a man. The majority of people won't buy a book off a white person. This is how ridiculous politics has become. And the level of demonization will only continue to get worse because these people won't learn their lesson. And they claim every criticism is racism. They know they're in the wrong, but they don't care because there's no truth but power. Now, in Gamergate 1, we made an absolute mistake where the so-called leading figures of Gamergate sat down with Anna Snarkeesian or whatever her name is.
Oh, that's
and the Mary Sue,
that traitorous hack.
Anna Sarkeesian.
And all the various Gamergate people sat down with Sarkeesian and the Mary Sue. They came to an agreement to let these people consult on the games. And what happened? Well, California passed a diversity law. You can't fire these people. Warner Brothers tried to sever ties with Sweet Baby Inc. Nope, they've got to live out their contract. They can't fire them.
Yeah. And come to find out, as all of this is going on, apparently it was revealed that the DHS created that company called Take This to combat extremism. Like you and me and everybody, the last thing we want to do is go out and do stupid shit. That's the last thing we want to do.
But it's
no, we don't.
Yeah.
We want to just sit there and have fun.
That.
Yeah, we want to have fun.
Earlier, I forgot that.
DHS is a fucking joke.
It came with, but it was initiated by BlackRock and Act Blue and the Gates Foundation, right? DHS was a partnership. And it was also with, I think, Stanford University, because they were trying to fund an AI to monitor extremism. And when they found they couldn't do it in the United States, they created used the European Union to monitor Twitter.
I already
Gamergate.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Gamergate is just a branch office of the fascist state. Okay, it's not a standalone event. Gamergate is about shutting down gamers because apparently we're too entitled. We want our games to be good. We want our games to be complete on arrival. We don't want microtransactions or loot boxes. Unfortunately, gambling addiction is real, and people have made billions of dollars exploiting gambling addiction. You look at the worst rated games making the most money because the gambling addicts will race, who are banned from casinos, race to play these online loot box machines like CSGO.
Yeah. On top of that, I already tore apart one journalist and cussed out the other. Got blocked by both of them because I told the truth. If you saw my video of me ripping apart the Kotaku journalist who came to the defense of SBI, I'm not done yet. I am not.
I heard
people.
I heard that Kotaku's like it's not good.
No, I'm actually working on another video right now because this game deliriously hilarious.
I heard, but I don't know if it's true or not. But there are now independents, all right, on YouTube who get more views than Otaku's than Otaku. That's they used to be like on the top. They used to they were the number one for a long time, and apparently they've fallen so far that you're getting they don't even hit 1 million anymore. That's how far they've fallen. They don't hit 1 million views a month, let alone the millions that they allegedly. But they're not the only one. Anybody heard from some of the top figures of Gamergate have disappeared, obviously. They had, but they linked Gamergate to the culture war in general, and they had the critical drinker and neurotic on Piers Morgan talking about the culture wars, because Gamergate is a downstream from the right. You got corporatization of government. Downstream from that, you've got Hollywood, which is a model born out of the French Revolution, the Jacobins. You can look them up. The Jacobins' cry was for the actors and certain other minorities over who they believed had more rights than French citizens and were out to murder all the French citizens so that these people could thrive. Like, actors are overpaid, and to a massive extent. You look at the revenue from each movie and you go, there's no way, not even, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man is worth $20 million. Oh, wow. A working Atari. Maybe. Well, it's a soundboard. Okay.
Sort of.
Oh, what is that? Hold up.
He's pulled out an Atari.
Nice.
OG. This is busted, but
It's an Atari.
Oh,
yeah.
It's guaranteed to be busted.
oh,
I gotta hook this sucker
oh,
up
my
and see if
heart.
I haven't.
That's
Oh,
pretty
my
awesome.
heart. Seeing that
Oh.
you were triggering my cleaning. I would clean the hell out of that. Be like,
Yeah. That's after I
You know what
dusted it
was-
off, by the way. It's been sitting in the
yeah.
room for 12 years.
Wow. Now, up until I think about the PS3, gaming used to be the realm of equality, where 4 people could sit down and create a game and become the world's number one most selling game, that is ID Software and Doom, right? But on the other side of the spectrum, you had Blizzard, which started with 2 people, created the first WoW, which is not WoW Classic, by the way, but the first WoW was the first World of Warcraft was a standalone game. It wasn't online. And I forget who gave him $1 million, but let's just say EA started as an Atari programming team, right? All these people started as small independents. And up until about the PS3, small independents could create video games. But as computers got more and more memory, games got bigger and bigger and took longer to develop. You couldn't develop and short games and platform games became the realm of the Nintendo. People actually had trouble selling platform games on any platform other than Nintendo, but more and more independent games started to disappear, but they're starting to make a comeback with new genres popping up, like the Burma shooter, which are all, they're not build engine, they're GZ engine, but it looks like Doom. It acts like Doom, although it's more like Hexen if you look at the code, and a lot of people don't understand the difference between the two, and that's okay. Doom never had up and down, and it had limited jump capabilities. There are other things as well. But you could spend 6 months learning how to code. You'd find a couple of graphic artists, and in a couple of months to a year, you could have a video game. That doesn't happen anymore, does it, Anime Night? You don't see many independents. And some of them take years to develop, and crowdfunding millions of dollars, and 90% of games fail. 90% of books fail. 90% of movies fail. They fail because the majority of people are consumers. They're mindless. They see what's number one. That's what they pick off the shelf. They go and that happened with Blockbuster. Remember before Blockbuster, you'd walk into a video store and everything was just A to Z?
A to Z.
Blockbuster.
Sorry, for us American people, A to Z.
For Blockbuster, what made Blockbuster different? They had the wall. And on the wall was the movies that they were paid to put on the wall. So the biggest studios, you'd walk in and what were you hit with? The blockbusters, of course. Or, your Jurassic Park, and you'd have 30 of them. And then you'd have each studio would basically have a movie on that wall. Independent movies and documentaries.
I remember going there. It was 1999. This was this was after Star Wars Episode 1 came out, after the theatrical run and all that. Wall full, far as you could fucking see, of the Phantom Menace. Like as far as you could see.
Whether it's books, movies, anything, culture became pay to win, right? In the 90s. Blockbuster made culture pay to win. Barnes and Noble, they made publishing a book pay to win before Amazon. Amazon just upped the ante, right? Amazon, they're all pay to win, right?
Amazon came in wearing a skirt with stilettos and a few whips and a baseball bat with barbed wire on it, and beat the crap out of Barnes and Noble and other companies, like,
because they had ebooks and ebooks. Because Amazon had ebooks, and ebooks were cheap. That's what it was. Amazon
Yep.
did not do a Barnes and Noble had the better bookstore, and that was only after the collapse of Borders. But Amazon had ebooks and had a better UI, and still have a better UI, and still have a better app. It's like Barnes and Noble does not want to compete at all. None of them do. Nobody seems to want to compete against Amazon. But that's a distraction. Culture became pay to win, right? Since Star Wars, culture became pay to win. Since the release of Clone Wars and Disney coming in with Aladdin and basically filling all the shelves with Aladdin. Since then, it's been pay to win. But and Blockbuster almost became the first streaming service, but then the US government stepped in and said, no, you don't. And it used antitrust laws to shut them down. And short time after, WorldCom collapsed and all these other companies collapsed. And they said, see, we're justified. Amazon rose. But then Amazon Prime came and the US government said nothing. What's the difference? How much money did Blockbuster give in political donations? $100,000. How much money did Jeff Bezos give in political donations? $1 million.
And yet the government. Okay, so the government, it's like
turned everything pay to win.
So the government was
destroyed
like
Blockbuster.
Yeah, they looked at Blockbuster.
They destroyed WorldCom.
Blockbuster. Yeah, Blockbuster. You're not a streaming service. We're gonna smack the antitrust law on you. Oh, hi, Amazon. Wait, what's that? Oh, you're doing Amazon Prime? Well, yeah, go for
ahead.
it. Go pay it.
Yep.
Oh, you have money for us. Oh, this is definitely not bribe
And
money,
who had
ladies
shares?
and gentlemen. This is definitely not bribe.
And who had ground floor shares in Amazon? Pelosi.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dave, but I've got to go. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna be ending here in a few minutes. So
I will definitely try to be there next week as well. And
all right, man.
I'll try to wrap this up very quickly.
I'll let you know if I get my Atari up and running again.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. Because that'll be a good thing for next week.
All right.
Glad to see it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later, Dr. Coffinails.
So they turned culture pay to win, basically.
Yeah.
But then this is why we have Sweet Baby Inc., because all the independents were mostly minorities at the time. And so they gathered together and found that they could use racism to leverage power in California and other blue states. So it's a natural progression. It's gone from pay to win to basically conform to win. Yeah, bully. Yeah, where the political groups try to control culture. And that is one of the tenets of fascism. The other one is the corporatization of government. And in fact, Mussolini said the number one tenet of fascism to distinguish from Marxism. Remember, Mussolini acknowledged that their model is Marxist. He originally wanted to call it reformist Marxism. But then the symbol of the Italian party at the time was the fascisti, the bundle of sticks that you see on the wall of Congress. That's the symbol of fascism. You go look it up. It's on the wall of Congress. 3 fascist sticks. That dates back to the Roman Empire. So that's where the word fascist comes from. They adopted that from another political party they absorbed along the way. And basically, they were running out of money. So to distinguish themselves from the Marxists, they aligned with corporations, which there were only a few of at the time. And they didn't, and because don't forget, 90% of trade used to be between independent merchants. And most of your retail stores were actually privately owned by independents. Corporations were like insurance companies and banks and a few steel mills and weapons manufacturers. That's it. Nowadays, you have corporations in every level and every aspect of life and culture. That's fascism. That's
Exactly.
why the founders had the antitrust laws in the first place, so that no one individual had unelected power.
Teddy Roosevelt's spinning in his grave.
But it was Roosevelt. It was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He aligned with the corporations and the banks and the unions, and they created the same alliance that Mussolini did. Only he didn't call it fascism, even though it is.
Hey, before we go, do you guys want to talk anything about the Daily Wire and Candace Owens?
Now, I've only seen satire of what's happening. So you want to fill us in before
I don't know.
say?
That's what I was wondering if you guys.
Well, there's a dispute going on behind the scenes, obviously.
Yeah, I'm sure. I didn't know if I figured maybe she might pop up on
She hasn't popped up yet.
Mug Club or something.
She hasn't popped up yet and said what's happening, but it appears that she has broken orthodoxy with the powers to be, that there isn't free speech at the Daily Wire, but we don't know what's going on because most of the posts have been satire about it.
Yeah.
But it appears also that Gina Carano is no longer working with or for Daily Wire either. It hasn't been for some time. And she actually said she did not get a contract. She got a job, a one-off job.
Nice.
So Ben Shapiro, full of himself.
Yeah, probably.
So I think after working at Daily Wire, Gina Carano turned down the contract and basically decided to remain independent. Obviously, she found out Ben Shapiro was no different from Disney.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I've reached the end of our time. I've got to go,
Yes.
and we're gonna have coffee and gaming tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. and that'll be nice.
All right.
Buy David's book. Check out Anime Night's channel and Channel Dad's channel. All the links are down below in the description. Do you guys have anything you want to plug?
I recently uploaded my video from Game On Expo. All the merch is there that I got from the place, including this beautiful thing. And also Seth, I did see a lot of Power Ranger stuff over there. There's a ton. And I probably seen, there was somebody who dressed as there was a lot of White Ranger, there was the Green Ranger, and then there was another guy cosplayed as the Green Ranger, but he had the gold shield armor thing. He had that one.
That's cool.
There was another dude, he had his helmet off, like he was a White Ranger. Dude looks like a younger JDF. He almost looks like him with the long hair and everything. He almost looks like him. I had to do a double fucking take just to see. It was scary. I'm like,
that's awesome.
Okay.
Are you related
Speaking
to JDF?
You remember the Red Ranger, don't you? The actor who
Yeah.
played the Red Ranger has a line of t-shirts with quotes on them.
I just,
So
dude, I don't know like what the deal is with that cat. I mean, it's
We're
just
worried
a
about the White
t-shirt.
Ranger. Yeah,
It's
we're
just a
worried about
t-shirt, but
it triggers some people. I know.
oh, dude,
But
it triggered a
people-
lot of people on the internet, and nobody could tell me what it said. I kept asking like, what did it say? And they're like, does it matter? That's disgusting. And I was like, I mean, yeah, it does matter. Just tell me what it says.
They'll allow Mao, they'll allow Stalin, they'll allow anybody, but they don't want us to know the truth about that particular period and particular time, because apparently they're accrediting a lot of stuff that other people did to one person so that they can wash their hands of the bloody crime that was World War II. Because it was a big lie. Countries got together, conspired against Germany. Germany tried to defend itself and just lost the PR war, I guess. Well, they didn't have much to stand on, especially being a dictatorship. but basically they weren't the only bad guys. I'm not saying they were good guys. I'm saying they weren't the only bad guys. As history has played out. But then again, you're not allowed to criticize Stalin. You're not allowed to criticize Mao. You're not allowed to criticize Marxism. You're not allowed to talk about Marxism in any negative light, or you're called an anti-Semite. The ADL has actually recently come out and said that Judaism is Marxism. And like, what? That's not how it goes. But and apparently 80% of Jews in America identify as atheists, where 80% of Jews in Israel identify as religious. And again, you've got Israeli institutions who have said what the Red Ranger did was nothing but harmless trolling. And this is from Israel, whereas the ADL are calling it promotion of hate, right?
Yeah.
So that's why there's such a disconnect right now. And again, it comes back to culture being pay to win. And these gatekeeping institutions, whether it be Sweet Baby Inc., they're just downstream. They're small fry compared to the ADL and other culture gatekeepers. I'm a victim of culture gatekeeping, right? You look at my post. How many people see my post on Twitter, Facebook? Facebook, you can't even get your stats anymore. Where on Twitter, want to know how many people saw my last tweet? 3. Twitter's just overcrowded. Social media, you go on social media, you just, most people are only looking at the top tweets. It's just, culture has just become so pay to win right now. And as I said before, if I wanted to advertise, I have to make a loss. I have to give up all my profits and then some just to sell a book. And it doesn't sell on merit anymore. Nothing sells on merit anymore. And I don't see where even I've seen the decline of independent comics, and you saw some initial successes with some. Now what's happened with them? They're all declining. And that's because the economy is declining. And the culture was meant to give us hope, inspiration, etc. I mean, culture was built out of the Depression. American culture comes from the Depression era. And it seems that the government just wants to return to it for some reason. I don't know. I just hope that culturally we can turn things around and basically lift people out of the Depression. Well, you know, it's depressing to see the people in depression, isn't it? See how many people can't afford, you know, just to buy a book even? That's terrible. See bookstores close by the hundreds. That's terrible. To see any store, to see how many people have gone bankrupt in the last 12 months. They stopped reporting COVID deaths. They're up. More people died in the last year than under Trump. And nobody's reporting on that. Because they want you to feel that they're in control, they're in command, when in fact they're nothing but incompetence, panicking. Because they can't control the corporations. They've lost control. And we're seeing that with more and more companies defying the government. And this is weird. They voted for a government or promoted a government that wanted to increase the tax rates. But when the government went to increase the tax rates, they said, no, it was just that was just PR. Berkshire Hathaway came out and said, no, they won't pay the increased tax rates. That's like you and I would go to jail if we said we weren't going to pay our taxes. Sorry, man.
I was just waiting for you to figure out like how long I've been waiting.
No, I'm sorry, man.
That was about a 5-minute rant. After
well,
I was just like, man, we're trying to go. Like,
so go. Sorry, man. I kept you up. Sorry. Take care.
7 a.m. tomorrow morning, Coffee and Gaming.
Coffee and Gaming.
Bye-bye.
Good day, sir.
Later, dudes.
Good night, Jimbo.
Hell, I got to go.
Peace out.
Burn in hell, New World Order. Fuck you. Fuck you, New World Order. Fuck you, Bill Gates.